The first question I got from everybody was, how's he jump so high? So I'm going to get that off the bat. I don't want to forget that.
Oh my God. Okay. I don't know. I think part of it, natural talent.
Okay.
Basically how it came about was I work at a gym, and there was this guy who would always say, like, I can do this better, I can do that better, whatever it may be. And he then one day was like, oh, I can jump higher than anyone. I was like, all right, we used to compete with a bunch of stuff. I was like, all right, let's do it. So we stacked the boxes and we started stacking plates on top. And then next thing you know, like, people are like clapping at our jumps and people are watching. I'm like, all right. So I ended up beating him. Sweet. I'm very competitive. And then we ended up Googling what this jump was that we ended up landing, and it ended up being like a foot away from the Guinness World Record. So I made a decision like that day. I was like, I'm going to break that record. I'm going to break it in a year from now. And I trained, and less than a year later, I broke that record. And then on the 1 year anniversary of breaking that record, I broke the single leg record.
Wow. So what was the process like of going about that?
It was a lot of training, a lot of weightlifting, not a lot of jumping, surprisingly.
Okay, see, that's something that I think people would just expect, right? When they hear the guy holds the Guinness World Record for highest box jump,
all the time.
He jumps everywhere,
I jump in my sleep.
So you're doing a lot of weightlifting.
I do a lot of weightlifting.
Yeah.
I don't jump often. I usually only jump if like I have an event that I'm jumping at, or someone wants to see it, or someone says you can't do this, and then I love that. So, yeah, mostly weight training. And when I'm actually training, like for a jump, you'll see like my upper body shrivel down to like being super scrawny, and my quads get like really big, and I'm training legs 3 times a week, and it gets hectic.
And what's that look like in terms of leg days?
It's brutal. So I'm gonna have I'll work out a periodization, and I'll end up planning from starting around somewhere in 8 rep range, and then working my way down to 1 rep, the closer, like right before the jump. So and then I'll take a week break of just to let everything recover, and then I'll jump
fully off.
Yeah, well, fully off. Like I'll do body weight stuff and stretch and mobility, but no weight training for like at max 7 days, usually around 5 days off. So yeah, but like so I'll have like 3 leg days. The first one's gonna be heavy back squats. The second leg day is going to be front squats. And then depending on my program, for my first jump, I was doing really heavy quarter squats. Okay. Believe it or not, like everyone swears off quarter squats, but I need that explosive strength at the top of my jump. So I don't always need that bottom strength. I need a lot of it at the top, right when you're getting off the ground. So I'll load the bar. I can barely walk out with it, and I'll put the safety bars high, and I'll just quarter squat. Like
people are just snickering in the background.
Like, yeah, absolutely. Like, look at this guy. He's one of those guys in the gym. Like, you probably see me in a video. Like, someone's just like,
just hold your Guinness World Record book.
Yeah,
like,
I know, right? I know. But people know what I'm training for when I'm
sure.
there. But like a lot of people on the Instagram was so funny because I wrote in the description like quarter squats, training explosive movement at the top of my jump.
Technique.
Right. And like some of the comments like, look at this idiot, can't even squat. And I'm like, all right.
That's hilarious. So were you doing like in your workouts, it was a heavy compound and you weren't doing the assisted work? Was it like a heavy compound with assisted work? Like,
sure. So more single joint movements after.
Okay.
So you'll do my compound in the beginning, squats, variations, and then I'll do anything from split squats, Bulgarian split squats. I like split squats with a bar because I can load it heavier. Hamstring curls, and then all the time RDLs or stiff leg deadlifts. I hit those hamstrings hard.
That's beauty, right?
Yeah. So.
And were you doing a lot of fast twitch stuff? Because again, I'm super interested in this. So it's all. What's the tempo like?
My tempo is like as fast as I can. 3-1-1.
Okay.
Like 3 on the way down, pause for half a second to a second, and then explode on the way up. But no crazy like. For my first record, I did do jump squats, but I ended up not feeling well in my low back from it.
Yeah.
And because I'm loading a bar with like over 100 pounds and then doing jump squats with it, and I didn't feel like it was the safest or the healthiest thing for my spine. Right? Yeah. And so I learned how to land properly and had some fun with it. But after that, I was like, not worth it. So. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Longevity plays a huge role down the road.
Yeah, I'm old now, man. Like, you know what I mean?
How old are you?
I'm 27 now,
and
I broke that record. I don't even remember when I broke that. Maybe took 2018 off, so 2016 I broke the 2-leg record and then the regular standing box jump record, and then 2017 I broke the single leg. But it's like I don't know, like this is peak. Like you have one movement to get your absolute peak. It's not like I'm trying to balance or like do as many as I can in a certain amount of time. This is like one pure strength peak movement, right? So as I get older, I feel like it's getting harder. But weird enough, I'm jumping the same height, and like I can break my record right now,
But is it worth it right now? Because you're even telling me it's
it's worth
expensive.
it. Well, okay, it's expensive if you bring someone out.
Okay.
But you can do the evidence process on your own. So I can
But
take you
but
through
it's
that.
just longer.
It's just hectic, man, and it's a
Okay.
lot of work. Okay, as much work as I put in training for the record, I put in maybe not as much like physical work, obviously,
Just
but like
mental.
mental work and organization wise was like tedious. I was super grateful to have awesome people in my life who have helped me with it, and a gym that supports me, which is great. But like, I mean, you have to have specialized witnesses. So they have to be like people within health and wellness that understand anatomy and all that, and they can't be an acquaintance of yours. You cannot be friends with them.
Like an enemy.
Yeah, exactly. So I actually went down the street to a competing gym, and I was like, I'm about to break a record tomorrow. Anybody want to like check this out and witness it and just sign saying they saw it and write a statement? And a couple people said yes, and then I had a pharmacist from the pharmacy next door come, and like just random people. But yeah, and then you have to have like 4 different video angles. You have to have pictures. You have to have slow mo. You have to have it in a public place with a lot of people, and you have to have it in it has to be published somehow. Not published like in a book, but like a newspaper or a TV show. Someone has to cover it, in order to actually like. Anyway, so there's like a
legitimate,
bajillion things you have to do, and so it took a long time to organize it. But once it was sent through, they said it would take 4 months, up to 4 months or something. They came back to me in like 6 weeks, and they're like, "You're good."
That's sick, man.
I was in Israel. I got an email from Guinness
How was
World Record.
that?
I was in Israel. I was sitting on the bus. Okay, I'm sitting on a bus in Israel. The bus is the only place that has Wi-Fi where we're going like on these adventures. And I like look down at my phone, and then like an email pops up, and I'm like, I just swipe over, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "This is amazing!" I just did it. So it was so cool, man. What a feeling! What a feeling.
So what was it feeling like?
Like pure euphoria. You would know best, like when you finish something that a lot of people like don't think you can do.
Yeah.
It's that feeling of accomplishment, but also a feeling of like you can fucking do it. Don't worry about anything. Like you can do it. So it's kind of like that gratification of your hard work paying off. So,
yeah. It's kind of cool because it programs you now to signify like, hey man, like I can get some shit done. Like nothing's impossible.
Exactly.
It switches the perspective of your entire life.
Absolutely. Your perception is never the same after something like that. And so now people tell me, talking about like business or talking about real estate, like, oh, you can't do that. Careful with what you're saying, right? Like, and all my response to everybody and some my friends will know, and like my coworkers will know, like I'll always respond with like, and who decided that? And so you can't do that. Who decided that? And you pause, like, wait, and they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, who decided you can't do it? And the answer is always, well, I did. Well, great. Decide otherwise. You'll be fine, right? Because whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right 100% of the time. So if you decide you can, great, you can. But if you decide you can and you put everything you can towards it, most likely you'll be able to do it. So.